calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all this sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
Well, we're back for another week, and we're wondering if Disney has any box office magic left in the tank. This is The Wars and More. I'm Joe. Of course, with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey, Doug, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good, Joe. How you doing?
I really can't say with, but otherwise doing pretty good.
Okay.
Stumbled all over that word.
That's all right. It's fine.
You got this plan. It's like, I'm going to say this. And then, blah.
Right. Yeah.
I think the rule is you're not supposed to point out your own mistakes.
That's okay. I've heard pros do the same thing. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh, no. It was just so terrible. I just couldn't let it go.
That's all right.
So, man, we've been talking the last couple weeks about when the hell is Star Wars going to end up back in theaters?
Oh, yeah.
And time again, we watch Disney's efforts at the theaters just blah.
Yeah.
I got to say, I don't know if they took the right lessons from Solo. Because I barely knew that The Little Mermaid was out.
Right. I don't know, man. This whole thing has been a little weird as far for me, right? Like, I really enjoyed The Little Mermaid when the animated feature came out. And there were certain things, like, I did see this was coming out, and I saw trailers and stuff, and I gotta say, it's a lot of the stuff that weirded me out was like, the Sebastian character and you took them from animation to
Flounder, dude, like,
quote unquote live action, and it was like, really?
I understand you want to capture the
realism,
but like when realism and CGI meet sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, it's just, I don't think of a flounder as a threat. The actual fish.
Right.
But when I see this one, just a little bit, it's a little terrifying.
Right.
So, it's just like,
yeah.
It's just like,
I don't know. It was just some of those sort of things. To be perfectly honest, it was those sort of things that kind of made me go, I don't know, and I don't know, for as much as I like the original animated, this one just didn't grab my attention. So on that note, I'm not surprised that, they're seeing returns the way they are.
I understand, like, where'd you see previews for it?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. It might have been on television, but I can't recall off the top of my head. I only saw one or two, but
I know. I understand. Like, the majority of my television watching is sports.
Sure.
Otherwise, I don't really watch live TV.
Probably not the best demographic for Little Mermaid advertising. Just saying.
Yeah, but you think you would see one get snuck in there from time to time.
Maybe, yeah.
Because you know, you got to remind dad or sports fan mom that The Little Mermaid's coming out.
Right.
And your kid's been asking to go see it.
Right.
You know, because, for example, I spent an entire day almost in front of my TV.
Really?
Okay, because we had the Monaco Grand Prix, the Indy 500, and the Coke 600.
Oh, yeah.
One of the biggest days in racing, right?
Sure.
I didn't see a single ad for that. And there's stuff in between there. So TV's on.
Right.
TV's on all day. Didn't see a single Little Mermaid ad. I'm just saying it. Some of this stuff is some of the stuff I'm watching as I'm flipping through these channels is Disney properties, ESPN. Like, just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been really easy to float an ad on there for sure.
I mean, one at least, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure people get sick of seeing the Total T ad.
Yeah. That's funny.
They seem to show that one every commercial break.
Right. Here, we can contrast that with The Little Mermaid. That's oh, that's funny.
So, I mean, oh man, I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
I mean, if you think our testosterone's that low, you might as well try to float a Little Mermaid ad.
Yes, there you go. Oh, that's hilarious.
All right. Enough of that.
Yeah.
But okay, the main point of this is like our big conversation lately has been, when does Star Wars return to the big screen?
Right.
And I feel like the more and more that this happens, what's happening right now, we're 2 weeks in.
Uh-huh.
The Little Mermaid's sitting at what? Somewhere around 150 million domestically?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch. I mean, those are like, Solo 2 returns right there. Sorry. Could not help myself.
I mean, okay. All right. Let's talk about another thing that I watch quite frequently. YouTube.
Yep.
I haven't seen any Little Mermaid ads.
Yeah, I can't say I have either. I don't know.
So, and YouTube, I saw more Solo ads. And they advertise Solo for crap.
Right.
So I don't understand what they're doing here. Where is this push for their stuff? I'm going to tell you what. I mean, I know for a fact, like, this has been a long running thing for me where my TV watching experience is sports.
Right.
Everything else I consume on a streaming app somewhere.
Right.
I don't watch many live shows, and the ones I do, I DVR and I fast forward through the commercials. So, that's not a fair analysis.
Right.
But I will say this. I saw ads watching sports for Beauty and the Beast. Not really something you would expect to see during a sports ad break.
Right.
But I saw them. Beauty and the Beast did fine.
Yeah, it is interesting. I don't know. I mean, you think it's all got to do with the marketing, or has there been a shift in the audience? Like,
No, I think this is the problem with Disney in the current era. They think they can just advertise on Disney Plus and their stuff's going to do fine.
yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. Because
I'm sorry, I am floating in between different sports.
There's,
I understand. I'm on a sports channel.
you have to understand, Disney. People like me, Disney Plus doesn't get turned on unless Star Wars is like got a new episode on of something. That's generally how it goes.
This is just my stab at it. They're trying to advertise on their own stuff.
Well,
they think they're too big.
They own everything, so yeah, they have no choice.
But they're not advertising on all their own stuff. ESPN was silent.
Well,
and I'm sorry, you can't advertise just where the kids watch it because that's not going to get the adults to take the kids to the theaters.
Right.
That's never been the case. I've seen plenty of things that are for kids get advertised during sporting events because it's like that reminder.
Yeah.
Take your kid to see this. They want to see this. And then not only that, there's a good chance while you're trying to watch sports, your kid's right there in the living room annoying you.
It's true.
So
yeah,
they're going to see it. Shouldn't put it that way, but you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. I mean, heck,
that's coming from the guy with no kids. Just a disclaimer.
Right, but coming from a guy with kids, sports can be a thing to bring families together. You know, and
right.
If you have an advertisement like that going on, and the kid says, "Hey, I want to go see that," that's even better than that's best case scenario. You know, you have a child with the parent and triggering that reaction of, hey, I want to go see that is helpful to the parents.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, hey, maybe we'll go do that this weekend,
And a sporting event, that's the likelihood of said parent actually being engaged
right
with the TV at that moment.
Yes, exactly.
As opposed to they turned on the channel for the kids to watch and walked out of the room.
Right. Because, I got to go cook dinner or something. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Like, I can totally remember when I was a kid, but football games on, I hear music that's familiar to me, right?
Yeah.
I come running in to see that. What's going on with that? Like, so now all of a sudden the attention's on me and the TV, like, because I heard something that I wasn't necessarily paying attention to, but I'm a kid, so
right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Disney's closed off too much. They think they got all this stuff going. Yeah, something's happening here.
Yeah.
I feel like The Little Mermaid should be able to pull in an audience.
You would certainly think.
And whatever disagreements people have or whatever, like, I'm not going to get into that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I feel it can pull in better than 150 million numbers.
Absolutely.
Like, just period. In 2 weeks, it's The Little Mermaid, one of the most popular animated features of all time.
Right.
Like, seriously, find someone who says, oh yeah, I totally hated The Little Mermaid. You just won't.
Right.
Just won't. You're going to find a very, very small group, and they're probably just angry people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just musically alone, it's one of the best.
Yeah, it is very good musically, for sure.
Animation-wise, the whole underwater, all the fish, all that stuff, like, it's fantastic.
Yep.
You can't pull in people?
Well, like I said,
I think you got one thing working, and if I got to say, visually speaking, for The Little Mermaid, was this a Little Mermaid show? But
that's what I was just thinking.
This is pertinent to Star Wars, though, because
Yeah.
we're wondering what the hell is going on. So, just visually speaking, look at the animated Little Mermaid.
Uh-huh.
It's bright.
Yes.
It's colorful.
Yes.
The new one, everything looks murky and dark.
There is that element to it, along with Sebastian Scuttle and Flounder looking creepy. Yeah.
Oh, Scuttle, dude. Oh, my God. And, okay, another question. Why Scuttle underwater?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Did you catch that? Like,
No, I didn't actually, but I couldn't tell you because he's not supposed to be. So
I am 90% certain with the one thing I saw. Scuttle's underwater.
well, that's just weird.
Scuttle's a bird.
Exactly.
All right, just want to throw this out there. Scuttle's a bird.
Uh-huh.
Like, I feel like even a kid's going to be like, what the hell's the bird doing underwater?
Right.
Like, I'm a kid, but I'm not stupid.
Right.
Birds don't go underwater. Not like that. And if they do, they can't talk.
Right.
As if a bird could talk. But if a bird could talk, it's not underwater.
Yes. I have no choice but to agree.
I mean, maybe I caught that wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe it wasn't underwater, but that's what I got. That's not good advertising.
Right. Well, I don't know. All I can say is that hopefully, whenever Star Wars does come back to theaters, they don't
You
do
can
that.
do better than 150 million
Yes, exactly.
opening weekend.
Gee, I hope.
I mean, oh man, that I saw those numbers. I'm just like that. That's bad.
Yeah.
It's just not good. And I'm sure they'll look for any excuse under the sun.
Oh, yeah.
I think the fault lies with them. I really do.
Well, I mean, who else would it lie with? You know, I mean, it's all of our fault for not going to see it, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah, if that's the way you think about it in marketing, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
So long, Disney.
There's a problem. Yeah.
All right. Wow, I picked that as an intro. I didn't expect to go that long.
That's funny.
Here we are.
Here we are.
All right, so Ahsoka.
Oh, yeah.
With Ahsoka this week, I mean, we're still in preview mode right now. I think the full thing comes out tomorrow as we're recording this. But the whole Empire Magazine thing.
Right?
There's a new teaser trailer that was released. That's already live as we speak.
Yes.
The teaser trailer, it's all footage we've seen, right?
Pretty
Except
much,
for,
yeah.
This is the first glimpse the general public got of Sabine lighting the lightsaber, right?
Oh, maybe so. Yeah.
I think Celebration crowds got to see that.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Yes.
But I think this is the first look we got, general public wise, of Sabine with the lit lightsaber.
Right.
We saw the lightsaber in her possession, I believe.
Yes.
But the whole cross blades things, that's new. That's new. So, I could be wrong on that. It may have been in another one. There's been a few floating around, so.
Right.
But with this one, we got confirmation of a release date. So we joked in the last episode that coming out August, like, oh yeah, it'll be the 31st.
Right. That's right. I mean, that's typically how it goes, right?
Yeah. But no, it's going to be the 23rd. So August 23rd, official release date for Ahsoka.
Oh, it's a whole week earlier.
A whole week earlier.
Joke's on us. That's
Shows what we know.
yeah. I think that means we were closer to right than wrong. That's just saying.
Well, I like that outlook.
Yeah.
That's good. Closer to right than normal, right?
Right. Hey. Of all the days.
Gonna wake up tomorrow, Little Mermaid is going to be at 500 million.
Yeah, really.
I doubt it. Nope. So August 23rd will be the release of Ahsoka. Yeah, it's exciting. It's looking forward to this one. This is probably the most anticipated series I've had since I guess the first Mandalorian trailer. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Gotta say, everything I'm seeing looks good so far. I mean, I feel like this is this is what's really, I don't know, how do I put this? This can really elevate Star Wars again, I guess. I mean, there's been some bumps.
I'll take
in the
it
road.
a step further.
Yeah.
I think this is a make or break moment.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to. But
I feel like it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the Mandalorian is keeping the ship afloat.
Right.
Andor did a good job of maintaining. Andor fell short of the elevation I was looking for.
Right.
I felt like there was a lot of potential there, but I just feel like season 1 was just a little too much setup.
Yes.
And not enough payoff. The payoff was so quick.
Right.
It's like, hey, we need this many episodes to set this up, and then we're gonna cram the climax into about 28 minutes.
Yeah. We need this many episodes to set it up. It's like, well, apparently we didn't need that many episodes. Well, stretch.
Like, we spent an entire season building this heist.
Right.
Well, no, it wasn't the entire season, but it was 4 episodes for the heist?
Yeah, something.
And then that was quick.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. Andor, like I said, it did well to maintain the float. It didn't help propel it forward. So we're still afloat. We're not getting anywhere closer to shore.
Right.
So I feel like Ahsoka's got to be you're tapping into a beloved story.
Yeah.
With Rebels, I mean, you're tapping into that and really kind of putting yourself in a little make or break situation.
Well,
I mean, do you Luke Skywalker this, or do you?
Huh?
Saying, do you Luke Skywalker this, or do you?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, you know what I mean by that.
No, I don't.
Do you just let the past die, or?
Oh.
Do you?
Ooh, yeah. So, okay.
Hell, do you kill it if you have to?
That's funny. That is funny. All right. That statement you made, I'm staying on the same subject, but switching to another story kind of thing. Right? Because it kind of brings up a line Dave Filoni says, right? The the biggest challenge was there's a whole bunch of audience that know her and a whole bunch that don't. She has one foot in the Star Wars that a lot of people know because of her connection to Anakin, and yet she's all new and can go in her own direction, in her own way. I think that makes her an interesting bridge between what came before and what's really possible. So he's well aware of that dichotomy of fandom for Ahsoka, you know? I have a feeling, being aware of it, he's going to be able to pull this off. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was staying away from the Dave Filoni's in charge here.
Huh?
I said I was staying away from like the Dave Filoni's in charge here kind of narrative about that.
Why? I mean, you walked right into it.
I did. But I just didn't want to like say, oh, well, you know, we ain't got nothing to worry about. Dave's in charge.
Oh, I'm not saying that. You know, there's certainly, I think the odds are better, you know, but you know, there's going to be a certain amount of fandom that's going to be like, you know, they're feeling just the way you were saying a minute ago, you know, this is it, last chance, you know, so.
Right. But let's be objective here.
Okay.
Right. And like that, okay, well, Dave's the right guy for this. Dave does have a way of storytelling because of his animation. And I shouldn't say because of. No, all we have to compare it to is his animation background.
Right.
He's got a very open-ended way of storytelling. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Long format, open-ended.
Okay.
Is that going to be carried over into this?
Well,
because if it is, I mean, we don't need a real slow start here. Not with what you're bringing in.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. So when you say open-ended, like you're talking about a long arc.
Long arc.
So while that is true,
you can't write this like you're going to get 5 seasons.
Right.
You got to write this almost like you're going to get 2 at best.
I will say he was also good at the small arcs. And I'm thinking back to like Clone Wars. Right? You would have like a 3-episode arc of a certain battle or something. And while there were overarching storylines playing out, he would do these smaller stories interspersed within. So those worked out well that way. So
yes.
I could see this being like a small series of those.
Yeah, you need this to work out like a Malevolence or a Mortis arc.
Right, exactly.
Where you have a plot line for your arc.
Yep.
But you also have characters that are going to carry on.
I mean,
so you're getting closure yet
yes,
carrying on.
Yes. These smaller arcs will move the larger arc forward.
Yes.
And
this season needs to punch like that.
Yes. Totally agree.
Yeah, if it can't hit like Andor.
No.
Like as much as I'd like I don't say that in a super negative way.
I'm with you.
But I mean, I was really on the Andor hype train. And I'm sorry, you set that up like you're you're set for 6 seasons.
Yeah. And there's 2.
I know. So, I mean, I liked it.
Yeah. It was good.
Felt good.
Mm-hmm.
But it was slow.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, this will prove to be the spark, that lights the fire and blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Hey, I'm just saying. Go
Oh,
to
I know.
Star Wars.
I know. What did I do? What did I start?
That's right. You did it.
Hopefully we don't just carry the whole episode on this way.
Oh, God.
All right, so sticking with Ahsoka. Get the right thing up here. Teasers are, even though we're literally the day before the full release here, there's teasers coming out. Little leaks, or whatever you want to call them. Intentional leaks. Probably the best way to put it.
Uh-huh.
But Lars Mikkelsen talked about the difference between doing Thrawn in animation and live action. Particularly the voice. And the changes he's made to Thrawn's voice for this live action role.
Interesting.
What do you make of this?
Make a what? The
Like-
changes?
The changes to the voice.
Well,
And what he describes as his approach here. Like, he says, when you do an animated character, there's a whole melodious approach. When you're there as a real person, that would be just slightly too much.
okay. So, slightly too much. I take that as to, that's him acknowledging the quote unquote, over the top nature of animation, right? I mean,
Right.
there is some degree of that with animation, which I can understand.
I can too. The only issue I take here is the use of the word melodious. And
Yeah,
he's speaking about Thrawn.
right. Yeah,
This very melodious approach is like, oh man, like there's all these books. There's animation. You got this really almost ridiculous calm with this character that's got a
yeah.
very melodious delivery.
Well,
It's a very consistent delivery.
well, okay. There you go. You say consistent. That's probably more apt than melodious, to be honest about it. Because Thrawn was very, we'll call it one note in his delivery in the animated series, in Rebels, because he didn't have a whole lot of, like emotional inflection and stuff.
Yeah.
Which goes along with the character, but, I don't know if I'd call it melodious. You know what I mean? It almost makes you think of carrying a tune, like a melody.
I mean, Yeah. I guess you're right there. It's not a very good word.
I mean, you know, it,
Shit, now I'm wondering if he knows who he's playing.
what? Hey, you know, I'm sure he
I just kidding.
is doing just fine. Yeah.
But with the way you described it, like, yeah, just this lack of emotional inflection
Right.
in its voice. Like, it just doesn't happen.
Right.
Even when it gets crazy, Thrawn's just kind of like,
Exactly. And that's, you know, in the super subdued, you know, character of Thrawn, that's the over the top part, you know. So I'm assuming that there's going to be areas here where he can actually you know, let some of that fly a little bit. You know what I mean?
right. I mean, maybe they just believe like they'll have to do a little bit more emotion and stuff in live action just to make it feel real. I don't know.
I mean, that's going to be part of it. If I don't know, there's got to be something to that, right? I mean, you can't. If you try, and I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna. If you try to clone in live action the character you had in Rebels to a T, you're probably going to get accused of trying to make a Spock-like character. So, you know,
Ooh.
yeah, you don't want that. We all know, we all understand that's not who Thrawn is, but I can see those accusations probably getting thrown at him.
Yeah.
Now, if Nicholson plays the character a little more lively at times and stuff, that'll probably assuage those criticisms if they were to come.
Well, that's fair. That's very fair. Yeah, I like it. All right. So we also get a new look at this Inquisitor.
Oh, right, yeah. The images that we see from this article and stuff.
Yeah. So definitely the most toned down Inquisitor we've seen.
Yeah, seems like it. It's funny. I mean, where's this Inquisitor come from, right? I mean, I'm just thinking timeline, you know?
Yeah, not sure. It's just a layover, right? Like,
Yeah, I guess. It's got to be.
I mean, well, yeah, it's got to be because why are there Inquisitors still in this time period with no Empire?
Right.
Man, no. No one to take their find back to.
Right.
Like, who are you reporting to? Or is this a, soldier in the battlefield doesn't know what happened?
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I would have to imagine that they would know somehow.
Right. Although the soldier in the battlefield that doesn't know yet, that would be very Lucasian.
It would be, yeah. I mean, I could see that.
Particularly like thinking about the Pacific Theater in World War II, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah, totally.
How many Japanese soldiers didn't know the war had ended,
Right.
still fighting that insurgent like battle? Like, that would be a nice touch.
It would be, it's an old trope, but it would be a fresh take on a Star Wars. So that's the one thing that I like the idea, Joe. But that's the one thing I was wondering about is like, what's the deal with this Inquisitor? Because it's long past when there should be any Inquisitors, and the only thing that I'm thinking of here now that might get to start making sense is, if we're talking about the edges of the galaxy here, right? We're going after Thrawn. Maybe that's the region they were in too. And when everything fell apart for the Empire, they just had nowhere to go back to. Who knows?
Could be. Or they just immediately fell in lockstep with Thrawn.
Right.
This was the contingency. Like,
so that would be a consideration here as well. Is that yes, maybe Thrawn had an Inquisitor or two at his disposal. And that's what we're seeing.
now, what about the chances that it's an Inquisitor? You got dark side like emotions and stuff kind of being utilized here. What about just being personal?
What do you mean personal?
With Ahsoka.
Oh. I don't know. I mean,
Like maybe this Inquisitor blames Ahsoka for their imprisonment.
imprisonment?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. I mean, I don't know.
For certain plots to destabilize the Republic.
Huh. I don't know.
I'm just trying to feed the whole Barisafi.
Oh, yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't. Yeah, you're dangling that right there in front of me. I wasn't biting. Yeah, I don't know. I still don't buy it. If it
You don't
is,
buy it?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Honestly, I think that story is played out. And I don't know if we're gonna get any more of that. Knowing Dave, I think this is gonna be something else, something new, something different. I reserve the right to be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do is take a bunch of guesses, realize how wrong we were,
Right.
talk about how, well, what I guessed would have been better because of X.
I don't know. Interesting picture. I'm just not sure.
I mean, this is and I understand your viewpoint here. Like, you don't buy it, right? Like, I understand that because how many times have we heard this?
Right.
This Barisafi,
Yes.
like, it's been floated so many times.
Yes, it has.
It's never come to be.
Right.
And I don't feel like the Barisafi that we left would be out there doing something in a mask.
In a mask, and the implication here would be that he's working for the Empire, right? Or for Vader. Bear Sophie was like not.
Her motivations were not to build an empire.
No.
That's for sure.
Right. In fact, wasn't it Tarkin who was like trying her? Somebody
Was it
high
Tarkin
up
that
like
tried
that.
it?
I thought it was Tarkin. I don't know.
I know she got exposed directly in front of the Chancellor
Okay.
because it was Ahsoka's hearing in which it
Okay.
was
There you go. Yeah,
exposed, right?
yeah. There you go. Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm getting at. Those people high up in the Republic that later were high up in the Empire. Yes. It's all the same people. She would recognize that. She would see the Empire for what it was. That's what I'm getting at. So I can't see her working for the Empire.
But could she be convinced that the Empire is trying to stop the corruption of the Republic that caused the very pain she's feeling?
I doubt it. Again, if you go down that road, they're going to have a lot of splaining to do, and I don't know if they're going to have the time.
Yeah,
Touching back on what we were
Back to
talking
our,
about.
like, hey, you gotta get to the point for once.
Exactly.
Not necessarily like to the point, but like, hey, let's feel like we completed something.
Right. I mean, I almost get the impression that this might be a character here that, is there to portray, the white hat, black hat kind of version of Star Wars, that we saw right out of the get-go in episode 4, the good guy, bad guy. And, maybe this is somebody who's done away with rather quickly. I don't know that this is going to be necessarily a major character even,
Oh no, I don't think so either. Just floated it. Like,
Yeah.
it's out there.
It is out there. I mean,
it's always out there, right? Like,
it's always out there. We're always trying to insert
secret
whatever.
secret new baddie. It's got to be Barasafi.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Like, I'll tell you what. You know where my ideal placement for Barasafi would have been if she was coming back? The book of Boba Fett.
Oh yeah.
I could see her when she gets out of the clink. Bounty hunter.
Yeah, bounty hunter.
Bounty hunter. Lay low.
And a place like Tatooine with this like whole
Hey man, it's a
underworld.
wretched hive of scum and villainy. You're
Yeah.
just getting bad guys.
Exactly. Yeah. Kind of out of the reach of the New Republic or any, authority figures that would, kind of rub her the wrong way. Yeah.
Or doing jobs somewhere like Navarro or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
that's not non-affiliated is where she's showing up.
Right.
Because I don't think anyone from either side of any of these wars is going to appeal to Barasafi. Not from what we heard.
Right.
Not from where her motivations were.
Exactly.
Inquisitor just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now that I say that, it's probably going to happen.
Oh, stop.
That's just the way it works.
Yeah, sometimes.
But I mean, I don't buy the Barasafi as a Imperial anything.
Exactly.
just doesn't fit the narrative of why she did what she did.
Right.
She kind of left in a way that even us as viewers kind of went, yeah, this Palpatine guy definitely ain't great.
Right. Exactly.
We've had a crystal ball. We've seen into his future. Doesn't end well.
Right.
So, and it seemed like she was wise to him.
Exactly. And to be one of the first like that, always looks like the crazy one, right? So,
Yeah.
don't think she's coming back into the fold of everyday galaxy far, far away.
Now, had a good relationship with Anakin.
Yeah.
I think that would play into it at all.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just had to float it. Had
Right.
to float it.
Even after, I just don't think, because she would feel like it was the Republic / Empire that turned Anakin into what he was.
It got to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Be very tragic too. How did they get to you?
Right.
I looked up to you.
Yep.
So, yeah, so I'm with you. I think the Barriss idea that's dead in the water.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll find out, right?
And we will find out. Yeah.
All right. Shoot, where do we want to go from here? Not that.
No.
I got that. It's real good production right here.
It's all right. No, we're good.
All right, so sticking with Ahsoka and Dave Filoni.
Oh, right. Yep. Okay.
So Dave Filoni referred to this work as writing a term paper for George Lucas.
Right.
I'm sure it was worded differently than that, but that's the gist.
Yeah. Wow. How come I cannot find
writing a term paper, but George Lucas is grading it, right?
I cannot find that story. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking for it here, and I'm like, oh, apparently I closed this.
Right. Me too. Okay, but okay. Yes. So yeah, he compared it to writing a term paper, which is yeah. And then you turn it in, basically cross your fingers, and let's see how it went, And he's like, this is kind of like his. He's waiting for it to be graded by both George and the fans. So I gotta say, I kind of like that he feels a little bit anxious to see how George Lucas receives this and how he feels about it. I like the fact that he, still wants to impress the guy who started him in all this. I love the reaction. Big sigh.
Okay. So one, I don't like the term paper.
Okay.
Because I know how much effort I put into my term papers.
Well, yeah, me too, which was none. But I think that I don't know that that's the relevant part of it, though. For me, he's just trying to imply, look, we've put a lot of work into this, Think of something you put a lot of work into. Kind of like a term paper
What's in
school.
term papers?
Well, that's you and me. I mean, some people do. There are smarter people than us out there, Joe. Trust me.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. If he's talking to the vast population, the vast population isn't going, wow, I put a lot of effort in my term papers.
True. Oh, that's funny.
No, I put a lot of effort into...
He's just making a point. Jeez.
All right, okay. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say I didn't put a lot of effort into my term paper. It was just the type of effort I put into my term paper.
Right. Oh, so yeah. Enough effort to pass. That's yeah.
Not even enough effort to pass. I think it was misguided effort. It's like, how do I bullshit my professor into thinking I got it right?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
That I really understood what they were talking about, and I really paid attention.
When you really
how do I fit all that in here?
Yeah.
I think that's the majority of term papers. You write it for who's reading it.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if I like that.
Well,
I don't like that analogy. That's me.
I got a feeling that Dave must have been the guy who actually worked on his term papers, and was shooting for the A+.
I shouldn't say what I just thought.
He's, I don't know, waiting for George to grade it. I don't know.
I just don't know
it.
that Dave's the guy that really, oh man, I really got to nail this term paper.
Well,
I mean, he's the guy that was doodling in meetings. I'm just saying.
yeah, but
Just saying.
okay. So, but the thing is, he and George were the guys in the room when Ahsoka was created, and he alone is the one to take the character beyond where George had any influence. And now he's going to get to see the reaction of George, after his involvement's done.
I understand the overall sentiment of the thing.
Yeah.
I really do. He wants to make his mentor proud. That's the takeaway here. I get that.
Which,
like I said, I am probably unfairly hanging up on the word term paper.
yeah, I would agree.
And what you try to get out of your professor in a term paper, professor, mentor, whatever words you want to use.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that's how you want to go about it.
Well, here's another way to look at this. For as long as everyone's been saying, Dave Filoni, you're the man. You're the one that Lucasfilm needs to be going to. I'm sure he's heard all this, right? And he's always stayed humble about it. This, in my opinion, shows that he actually is still humble about it. Because...
Oh, agreed. I agree.
He wants it to be something that George could have seen himself creating, if he were still involved.
Right. But I want that, like I said, keep hanging up on this. In a term paper, you write for the one individual.
Right. So if you're going to make Star Wars geared at one person, yeah, George is the guy.
I get, sure, but you're writing to answer something for someone else. I think you write better if you answer yourself. What's your question? What are you after? I feel like you'll write better.
Okay.
If you apply the lessons you learned along the way and take what you got from your mentors and guiding sources along the way and apply that, yes. But you got to write for what your vision is, because it's going to be better. Don't write for what someone else is looking for.
You know, I don't even know if it's going to be something that George is looking for.
Yeah, but
it's what, you know, Dave's got to make that up in his own mind. You know what I mean? I'm sure they've had discussions in the past of where this character might have eventually go far in the future, but how the character gets there, how Ahsoka gets there, that's all on Dave now, you know, and that's what he's.
I get that, but Dave has written more for Ahsoka than George Lucas, so
sure.
Dave, where do you see it going? Like, yeah, I understand you want to make your mentor proud.
Yeah,
but been doing that for a long time. So,
but I think it is what you're saying. It needs to be. I think, you know, I hope, you know, but I got a feeling he's just hoping that it can be both. You know,
yeah,
that's because I don't disagree with you as far as, you know, make Ahsoka for yourself, Dave, but he's hoping in the meantime it's going to be something that George will like and approve of as well.
Oh, I get that. Like I said, you want your mentor to be proud of everything you learned.
Right.
Get that. But Ahsoka's definitely more Dave Filoni than George Lucas at this point, so.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't say it often, where I'm like, maybe George's style of doing it isn't necessarily what you need right now.
Interesting. Huh.
And I just, okay, let's, not to keep beating a dead horse, but let's think of Dave's level of satisfaction with Ahsoka.
Okay.
Where's he at right now? How does he feel he did to date?
I don't know.
Pretty happy, I think.
Oh, probably. But I mean.
Now let's think of George.
Uh-huh.
How's he feel about his movies to date?
The 6?
Yep. I guarantee there's still things George wishes he could change.
Oh, probably. But I mean, that's really neither here nor there. He made the stories he made.
I think it matters.
Oh, not. The things he's changed are pretty much technological differences. I don't think that really equates. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to story, the stories were the same. So.
Relatively.
Yeah. Pretty close. I don't, there wasn't much deviation in story. I just feel like, yes, he was always wanting to make improvements and stuff, and so you're referring to like special edition things and stuff like that?
Not just special editions. I mean, even stuff that got added to Blu-rays. I mean, that was prior to Disney. Those things were already in the works.
Yeah. But like I mean, what though?
Think of, okay, Han shooting first, right?
Yeah.
So Han shooting first went from Han shooting first to them shooting at the same time ish
It was, yeah.
to McClunky.
Yeah. Okay. That's one
It's
that
one example. I mean, there's
that's
there's
the one
others.
example no one can understand, but
It's I had to go with that one because it makes the least amount of sense.
yeah.
But I mean, these are all George Lucas changes.
Yes.
Okay.
But-
so now you're writing a term paper
Yeah.
for someone who does that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Like okay. Let's go back to special edition stuff. That stuff he was doing as a trial run to make sure the new technology he was looking at was going to actually work for his new episode 1 he was going to be working on. So, you know,
And
that's
I understand that.
yeah.
But I like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm being completely like, look, just do you.
Right.
Let's do that. Let's not worry about everyone else.
Well,
I think worrying about everyone else all the time is what's made stories such a mess anyway now.
well, I think at this point Dave is comfortable enough to where he is going to do Dave, and in the process of it would just be nice, you know, he's got that kicking around in the back of his mind. It'd be nice for the guy who co-created the character with him to say, yeah, I like that. That's basically
Just
it.
say that then.
Well, okay. All right, there we have it.
That's all I'm getting at. Like, I get you want to make your mentor proud,
Sure.
but when you use certain words, hey man, words matter.
Okay.
I just feel like when you say it that way, it sounds like you're writing it for them, not you want to make them proud.
Well,
And look, I know Dave's not doing what I'm saying there. At least I hope not. I'm just saying, it sounds bad.
huh. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, because I didn't take it that way. I feel like he's, you know, like I said, he's got that little tinge of anxiety, just hoping he's going to hear good things from George. That's it. Which,
Yeah, just say that.
it's like the rock star, you know, going on stage, still get nervous a little bit every time, right?
Oh, yeah.
The ones that don't probably shouldn't be on stage.
Fair. Fair, but I just don't think I just don't think Dave Mustaine's writing to make Metallica proud. You know, like, just saying. I'm just
Oh my. Okay, that's a whole rabbit hole we're not going down. That's yes.
I know. All right. Where are we at time wise here? Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. So there's one I want to get to.
Okay.
We got other stuff, but which is weird because there ain't been nothing going on. And, I mean, there's still nothing going on, but
Right.
we're really killing the rabbit hole kind of thing today.
Yeah, in this
I mean, hell, we spent the first 20 minutes talking about the Little Mermaid.
in
So.
this very special Little Mermaid episode, yes.
I think we're calling this episode Under the Sea. So
I like it.
So if you saw that episode title and made it this far,
Right.
kudos
Congratulations
to you. We got to Star Wars eventually. So we've talked about Star Wars props hitting auction,
Yes.
and we've seen some big numbers.
Yes, we have.
Probably not this big.
What?
So
Okay.
Princess Leia's dress from the throne room scene in episode 4
Okay.
is out there,
Yeah.
up for auction. Well, will be. Will be up for auction June 28th to June 30th.
Oh, right around the corner. Okay.
Right around the corner. Estimates coming in that this dress could go for anywhere from $1 to $2 million.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. This is not one that you get for your daughter and let her wear it to prom. That's
No,
for sure.
no. I was blown away by, like, okay, look, the Han Solo's blaster, right?
Yeah.
Preserving that, easy, right?
Oh, you mean, yeah. Preserving it? Like, yeah.
Yes,
I got you.
like in the shape it was
Sure.
then.
Yeah. Throw it in a box.
You're going to be pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cloth?
I know.
I mean, I still get it. Like, it's what was used on screen.
Right.
But I'm sorry, I highly doubt it still looks like that.
Yeah, you would have to imagine that it doesn't. And, I don't know. I don't have any real sources or information, but I hear that a lot of costumes made for films, aren't made for a lot of durability, right? You need to get the shot. Once the shot's done, we're not too worried about the costume anymore, So,
And how often do they use that costume again? No, they just make another one. It's costume. It's
Sure.
made cheap. It's made to shoot a scene.
Yes, exactly.
And you're talking about a costume right here that was made to shoot a scene,
Right.
And a relatively short one.
A short one and not a whole bunch of action in it,
Right.
So it didn't have to be durable. So my
If
guess
it's
is
durable,
it's
then-
not.
That's my guess. Now, maybe this left that scene and got vacuum sealed and
Yeah, maybe.
and it's all good. Doubt it.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. I'd like to see some updated pictures of this thing.
And then, once again, I know it was used in a scene, but what are you going to do with a $2 million dress?
Exactly.
Not only that, but movie costume dress. I mean, let's just compare movie costumes to what they dealt with in The Mandalorian, right? Talk about stormtrooper armor.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I mean, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau even talked about the 501st people that came in. Their costumes
Yes.
were that much better than,
Right? Than the ones they had? Absolutely.
and these are costumes that people are making at home.
Right.
So it's not like you're dealing with some designer dress here. Dealing with a movie prop.
Right. I'm sure it's going to go on a mannequin and sit in the corner of somebody's house.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what you do with these kind of things, right?
Yeah. But dang, That is an expensive decoration.
Yeah. I actually find it amazing that here we are in 2023 and this dress is still out there.
Right.
And in apparently good enough condition to sell for $1 to $2 million.
Yeah. That is amazing.
Because I mean, I'll tell you what, and I bring this up because being somewhat into collecting myself, and I'm a low level collector. But some of the stuff I collect, like trading cards, things like that,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, this thing gets a ding in the corner.
Uh-huh.
The corner's not perfect. The value drops immensely.
Right.
Like, doesn't matter that it's this many out of this many.
Right.
It's got that ding. It's junk now.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
But there is only one of these dresses. That's the thing.
Allegedly.
Oh. Oh, I see. Well, that I don't have any information on.
I know. I'm just talking crap. But, I mean, did they get it? You know, they get the official, like, signature on it? Is it certificated? Like, does it got a COA on it?
Oh.
Is it 101? Like,
I don't know. Maybe Carrie left a little baggie in the pocket or something. I don't know. Who knows? Just saying. Hey, just saying. Stranger things could have happened.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, it blew me away. Like, I got the blaster because, okay, it's going to survive relatively easily.
Right.
Especially if it's at least somewhat taken care of. But cloth,
Yeah.
I mean, even if you take really good care of it, I don't see it being in the same condition. And this is set to be one of the most expensive. That's where I'm making my point. Set to be one of the most expensive movie props from Star Wars to be sold.
True.
And I just don't imagine it is in the same condition.
Well,
Because I doubt they said, wow, this dress is going to be worth something someday. We should seal this up and take really good care of this.
it's true. It's true. Most of these things are found in dumpsters and stuff like that.
Right. I'm assuming that's what happened.
It's possible.
You know, it maybe not in a dumpster, but guaranteed this thing sat on a rack for a while somewhere.
Right.
Or, you know, like something like that.
Used it.
Maybe got repurposed in another show or something, you know?
Tablecloth.
Right.
That's, it's sad, but things like that have happened.
Oh, yeah. So, it's just a new one. Had to point it out.
Right?
We'll be watching to see where this goes. If this makes it into the range that they're predicting, I will be amazed.
Yeah. Yeah. It will be interesting to see for sure.
Oddly enough, like this one didn't have any pictures whatsoever to us to show it.
Right.
Like with the other stuff, some of them we saw pictures of the current condition of it.
True.
You know, this is all renderings and like, hey, here's Carrie Fisher wearing it at different, like, and this is the other thing.
Right.
She wore it for different shoots and things like that. I'm like,
Yep.
I just don't imagine this thing's in great shape. So, yeah, it's just my thoughts.
Yeah. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens there.
I feel like this is just a ridiculous, like, well, I got to elevate it and have the most expensive Star Wars prop. Even though it's barely hanging on by a thread.
Right.
So. Yeah. Well. All right. If you have anything to add, you can always email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. It's the best way to get a hold of us. We're also on social media, @thewarsandmore on Twitter, facebook.com/thewarsandmore. You can find all that and all the ways to find the show over at thewarsandmore.com. Any final thoughts this week, Doug?
No, I think that about covers it.
All right. We will talk next week.